Hollywood stars are always looking for ways to perfect their appearance, but sometimes excessive cosmetic intervention leads to irreparable disasters. Join us as we explore some of the most failed plastic surgery cases that have left many shuddering. These before and after images will surely surprise you with the unbelievable transformations of these stars. Leave a 1 if you agree, and a 0 if you disagree. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to support us. Let's explore these interesting stories right now. Jocelyn Wildenstein, known by the nickname Catwoman, is one of the most extreme cases of facial transformation through plastic surgery. Initially, she underwent surgery to please her husband who loved big cats, but it later became a personal obsession. With expenditures reaching millions of dollars, she altered her facial bone structure, injected fillers, and pulled her eyes back to create a leopard-like appearance. The result is a look that leaves anyone who sees it in shock. Jocelyn's transformation made her the focus of stigma and gossip across international headlines. Despite this, she has always maintained that she is satisfied with her unique look and has denied many rumors regarding complications. However, looking at her facial structure, which no longer possesses human traits, the public clearly sees the devastation caused by the abuse of chemicals and excessive medical intervention. She has spent her entire life building an unrealistic image, sacrificing both her natural appearance and ordinary social acceptance. Jocelyn Wildenstein's story is a wake-up call about losing oneself to please others or chasing illusions. True beauty requires balance and respect for natural features to avoid becoming an aesthetic tragedy. Do you agree that personal freedom in aesthetics should also have limits? Comment 1 if you agree or 0 if you don't. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us in making more quality videos. Thank you all. Michael Jackson's journey of physical transformation was not just a story of cosmetic procedures, but a psychological tragedy under the pressure of fame. Starting as a boy with a round face, Michael underwent his first nose surgery in 1979, following a stage accident. However, behind that lay a deep obsession with his appearance and the harsh criticism from his own father regarding his big nose. It was this profound insecurity that pushed him into an endless series of interventions in a quest for perfection. As time went on, the changes to the King of Pop's face became increasingly apparent, sparking intense global controversy. Experts estimate that he underwent hundreds of procedures, both major and minor, ranging from rhinoplasty and cheek implants to altering his chin structure. His skin, which gradually turned pale due to vitiligo combined with increasingly sharp facial features, made Michael appear unrecognizable to the public. Despite this, he always maintained that he had only undergone a very small number of surgeries to improve his breathing. Michael Jackson's story is a costly reminder of the importance of self-acceptance instead of getting lost in idealized images. Excessive interventions left him with severe consequences in his final years. What do you think about this? Leave a comment with 1 if you agree or 0 if you have a different opinion. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to give us more motivation to produce higher quality content. Thank you. Rapper Cardi B has always been famous for her frankness and her willingness to expose the hidden corners of her life, including her plastic surgeries. She admitted to undergoing cheap buttock injections at unlicensed facilities while she was still a stripper. At that time, due to financial struggles and the pressure to have a hot body, she took an extreme risk. Cardi B's openness is not meant to promote these procedures, but to warn young people about the life-threatening dangers involved. Complications from unsafe fillers like biopolymers caused Cardi B to face prolonged pain and the risk of sepsis. She had to undergo painful surgeries to remove non-standard implants in order to save her own life. Her courage in publicly sharing this process on social media earned sympathy and respect from fans. She asserted that wanting to look beautiful is not a crime, but choosing cheap and unsafe methods is a terrible mistake. Currently, Cardi B has a much more cautious perspective on cosmetic procedures and frequently advises her fans to do thorough research. She emphasizes that health is always the top priority, and no beauty is worth trading your life for. Her story is highly educational, helping to change many people's perceptions of the underground plastic surgery market. By speaking the truth, Cardi B has turned her personal experience into a powerful message about safety and self-respect in the pursuit of beauty. Simon Cowell, the powerhouse behind talent competition shows, once left the public stunned with a frozen face caused by filler abuse. In his 60s, the desire to maintain a youthful appearance on television led him to overindulge in filler injections. As a result, Simon's face became asymmetrical, his eyes appeared droopy, and his expressions were no longer natural. This became a hot topic of discussion across newspapers and social media for a long time. The turning point occurred when Simon's young son, Eric, became frightened and cried upon seeing his father's altered face. This honest reaction from a loved one served as a wake-up call for Simon, making him realize he had gone too far in chasing artificial beauty. He decided to stop all filler treatments and took steps to restore his appearance to be as natural as possible. Simon admitted that sometimes we become so obsessed with erasing the traces of time that we forget the beauty of aging. Simon Cowell's transformation serves as a testament to listening to loved ones to find balance. Instead of relying on plastic surgery, he chose a healthy lifestyle to maintain positive energy. Do you agree that inner beauty is always more sustainable? Comment 1 if you agree, or 0 if you disagree. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us in making more engaging videos. Thank you very much. Linda Evangelista was once one of the most powerful supermodels in the world, famous for her quote about not getting out of bed for less than $10,000. However, she had to live in seclusion for many years, following a horrific cosmetic complication called cool sculpting. Instead of reducing fat as advertised, her body suffered a paradoxical reaction that caused fat tissues to enlarge and harden. This condition not only destroyed her career, but also plunged her into severe depression due to the drastic change in her physical appearance. This incident turned a beauty icon into someone deeply insecure, constantly seeking to hide from the media lens. Linda shared that she felt like a stranger in her own body and that the emotional pain was even greater than the physical suffering. After years of enduring in silence, she decided to take a stand and sue the aesthetic company to demand justice. This action received enthusiastic support from colleagues and fans all over the world. Linda's decision to go public with her disfigured images was a brave step toward breaking unrealistic standards of perfect beauty. She wanted everyone to understand that even the procedures considered safest still harbor unpredictable risks. Her story has inspired many women to love themselves regardless of their flaws. Linda Evangelista has now returned to the spotlight not through perfection, but through authenticity and extraordinary courage. Priscilla Presley. The woman once linked to the life of the legendary Elvis Presley faced horrific consequences from trusting the wrong person. In an effort to maintain her youth, she became the victim of a fraudulent doctor in Hollywood who injected industrial silicone intended for machinery into her face. This caused her skin to become coarse and hardened, with small lumps appearing and deforming her naturally beautiful smile. Instead of preserving her elegance, her face became lifeless and lost its inherent flexibility. Priscilla's journey to repair the damage was a persistent battle against both physical pain and public criticism. She had to undergo numerous corrective surgeries to remove the toxic substances from her facial muscle tissue, but the results could never be as perfect as they were before. This incident not only affected her appearance, but also caused significant emotional distress, as her personal image became a subject of gossip. However, instead of hiding, she spoke out to warn other women about the dangers of choosing unlicensed aesthetic clinics. Priscilla Presley's story is a wake-up call about verifying a doctor's qualifications before undergoing cosmetic intervention. Beauty should never be traded for safety or unverified methods. Do you agree that safety is more important than achieving beauty at all costs? Comment 1 if you agree or 0 if you don't. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to give us more motivation to produce quality content. Thank you all. Once a heartthrob of Hollywood in the 1980s, Mickey Rourke underwent a physical transformation that shocked the entire world. His decision to leave acting to pursue a professional boxing career resulted in numerous severe facial injuries. Lacerations, broken cheekbones, and a crushed nose forced him to turn to plastic surgery to reconstruct his facial structure. However, choosing the wrong doctor turned his recovery process into a nightmare as his features were over-tightened. A series of botched surgeries turned his once romantic face into something coarse and unrecognizable with displaced muscle tissues. Mickey Rourke did not hesitate to admit that he was too hasty and lacked the foresight to find a truly dedicated and skilled expert. This disrupted his film career for a long time before he returned with grittier roles. He shared that every time he looks in the mirror, he sees a stranger looking back at him, a truly haunting experience. Despite his appearance no longer being the same, Mickey Rourke still proved his talent through roles requiring psychological depth and life experience. His story offers a different perspective on plastic surgery. Sometimes it is a necessity to repair damage, but if not handled carefully, it leads to tragedy. It teaches us a lesson about patience and accepting the scars of time as part of one's personal history. Mickey now chooses to live with his current appearance and focuses entirely on the art of acting. Sharon Osbourne is a prime example of a dramatic shift in mindset regarding the pursuit of artificial beauty in her later years. After a facelift in 2021, she experienced a genuine shock upon seeing the results in the mirror. Her face was pulled so tight that one eye appeared higher than the other, creating a look she described as a cyclops. The post-operative pain, combined with the unsatisfactory results, left her feeling distressed and deeply regretful of her decision. She shared sincerely that in her 70s, her body no longer has the stamina to endure such intense, invasive procedures. Sharon decided to stop all major plastic surgeries and chose to age more naturally along with gentler care methods. Her courage in admitting her mistake in the media received a lot of sympathy from the audience. She realized that confidence does not come from being wrinkle-free, but from loving oneself. Instead of continuing to fix old mistakes with new surgeries, Sharon chose to live in harmony with what she has. Her story inspires older women to know when to stop, to protect their health and preserve their personal identity. It serves as a reminder that true beauty in old age lies in clarity of mind, life experience, and a confident demeanor, rather than a flawless face. Sharon Osbourne is now content with being herself, no longer under the pressure of the knife. Katie Price. The British reality TV star is famous for her relentless obsession with changing her body size and face. Over more than 2 decades, she has undergone dozens of breast augmentations, liposuction, and nose jobs to achieve what she considers a perfect physique. However, the excessive abuse of these procedures has caused doctors to speak out and warn about the long-term risks to her health. Katie frequently appears with bandages and signs of exhaustion following lengthy major surgeries. This obsession not only affects her physically, but also sparks much debate regarding her influence on young people. Many worry that her ease in making her surgical processes public creates a distorted view of self-worth. Although Katie asserts that she feels more confident after each procedure, complications such as infections and unnatural skin texture frequently occur. She seems to be falling into an endless spiral of searching for an illusory perfection. Katie Price's story reflects a dark side of the entertainment industry, where appearance is prioritized over all other values. It raises questions about the boundary between the pursuit of beauty and self-maltreatment in the name of aesthetics. Constantly changing one's appearance can cause a person to lose their original identity and become a slave to trends. This is a profound lesson for those who intend to abuse plastic surgery as a way to seek happiness or social validation. Heidi Montag once shocked the media by undergoing 10 plastic surgery procedures in a single day when she was only 23 years old. The desire to become a living doll and the pressure from reality television led her to make this reckless decision. From breast augmentation and a nose job to a chin reduction, Heidi completely transformed her already beautiful appearance. However, the price she paid was extremely high, as she nearly lost her life on the operating table because her body went into shock due to the amount of anesthesia and the extensive interventions. The subsequent recovery process was a horrific period marked by extreme physical pain and mental breakdown. Heidi admitted that she became addicted to painkillers and felt regretful for not listening to her family's advice. She realized that those surgeries did not make her happier, but only created more barriers in her life. The excessive changes also caused her to lose many career opportunities and struggle with expressing emotions on her face. Mandy Sellers has always maintained her optimism and stylish fashion sense, proving that a disability cannot stop her from enjoying life. Her resilience has inspired many people, helping them realize their self-worth and overcome insecurities about their appearance. She is the embodiment of inner strength, asserting that true beauty lies in confidence and the courage to face adversity, and cherishes the most natural parts remaining of her body. Pixee Fox is a young model who chose an extremely radical path to become a real-life version of cartoon characters. She did not hesitate to undergo painful major surgeries such as removing 6 ribs to achieve a tiny waist or permanent eye color change surgery. The desire to possess the unrealistic body proportions of comic book characters pushed her into medical risks that many reputable doctors refused to perform. Pixee views her body as a work of art that needs to be constantly sculpted. The act of removing ribs not only altered her appearance but also stripped away the natural protection for her body's internal organs. Pixee has to wear a shaping corset nearly all day to maintain her waist structure and faces many difficulties in her daily activities. Despite warnings about long-term health, she constantly seeks new methods to upgrade herself. This determination leaves many people both admiring her endurance and fearing for the future of this young woman. Pixee Fox's story represents a group of people who want to escape reality to live in an illusory form. It shows that the power of imagination can sometimes lead people toward biological self-destruction. Transforming oneself into a living cartoon character may bring temporary social media fame, but it leaves behind unpredictable consequences for physical health. This is a lesson in maintaining sanity in the face of extreme and dehumanizing aesthetic trends. Valeria Lukyanova, globally known as the human Barbie, has spent years building a surreal appearance perfect in every detail. With flawless skin, large round eyes, and an incredibly tiny waist, she looks more like a plastic toy than a human being of flesh and bone. Although Valeria has always maintained that her look is largely due to exercise and a strict diet, many aesthetic experts still believe that she has undergone significant surgical intervention. Javier Botet, born with Marfan syndrome, a condition that gives him unusually long limbs and fingers, along with exceptional joint flexibility, chose to see his body not as a limitation, but as a powerful artistic instrument. In Hollywood, he is the performer behind many iconic creatures in major films, bringing characters to life with minimal reliance on digital effects. Javier demonstrates that differences in skeletal structure can become a rare professional advantage when placed within the right creative environment. Human Barbie Valeria Lukyanova is a testament to how far humans can go to realize an ideal prototype. However, it also raises questions about the true value of life when we place too much emphasis on the outer shell. Transforming oneself into a toy icon may bring a sense of illusory power, but can easily leave a person isolated and disconnected from reality. Her story reminds us that the diversity of natural beauty is what truly creates human value and attraction. Carrot Top. The stage name of Scott Thompson is a comedian famous for a shocking physical transformation from a slender young man to a muscular man with a distorted face. The combination of excessive bodybuilding and cosmetic procedures such as brow lifts and filler injections has made his appearance strange and unnatural. Many audience members feel regret for his previously witty and friendly look, as his face now always appears to be in a state of being overstretched. Although he has always denied abusing plastic surgery and asserts that the changes are due to a disciplined lifestyle, the traces of aesthetic procedures on his face are too obvious to deny. This transformation has turned him into a prime example of how male artists face pressure regarding their appearance just as much as women do. The desire to maintain a youthful look to suit the entertainment stage sometimes backfires, making artists appear foreign in the eyes of their own fans. He has to face considerable ridicule and malicious comments about his new look. Carrot Top's story is a wake-up call for men in approaching beauty and fitness methods in a healthy way. The imbalance between a muscular body and a surgically altered face creates a lack of harmony, stripping away natural charm. It teaches us that aging is an inevitable law, and trying to resist it at all costs sometimes only yields ridiculous results. An artist's true confidence should come from talent and the ability to connect with the audience rather than a stiff appearance. Lara Flynn Boyle was once one of the leading beauties of American cinema, with delicate beauty and captivating eyes in hit films. However, the fear of being forgotten in Hollywood as she aged pushed her down the path of abusing plastic surgery from a very early age. Successive lip injections, facelifts, and nose jobs caused her face to become swollen and lose its original graceful features. The public was deeply regretful to see the unrecognizable transformation of the actress they once loved. Excessive intervention made Lara's facial expressions limited, which directly affected her acting ability and her career in the movie Capital. Instead of receiving praise for her talent, she frequently appeared in news outlets with headlines about aesthetic disasters. This created a vicious cycle of low self-esteem and pushed her even deeper into seeking corrections to salvage her appearance. Her story is a sad testament to how pressure from harsh beauty standards can suffocate true talent. Looking at Lara Flynn Boyle's journey, we see the harshness of time for those who live off their beauty. However, it also serves as a reminder that accepting the changes of aging with wisdom is better than blindly trying to cling to youth through surgery. The beauty of a mature woman lies in her aura and the experiences marked on her face rather than in tight but soulless skin. Lara remains a costly lesson in cherishing what nature bestows before it is too late. These stories serve as a wake-up call about the thin line between enhancing one's beauty and excessive obsession. Plastic surgery should only be a tool to support confidence, not a method to reject oneself. The greatest lesson is to prioritize medical safety and mental health before chasing harsh standards. The most sustainable beauty always stems from understanding and cherishing one's own unique values. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you found this content helpful and interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, share it widely, and leave a subscribe to the channel to support me. Your support is the greatest motivation for me to continue creating even more quality videos. What are your thoughts on the cases above? Please share them right below in the comments section. Goodbye, and see you in the next videos.